Check. Good evening, everyone. I think he's the only one who remembers. Good evening, everyone. Come on, guys. So the good news is Chetan is in the store. He's signing a couple of books before he comes upstairs. So how excited are all of you? I can hear a handful of people only. That's it? That's it? No? I think I can hear something louder, more exciting. Let's.
People are so excited they're not able to communicate.
I'll take that. That was a good one. But tell me, how excited are all of you? Speechless. No, I would not want a speechless audience today. Let's make the most of today. Let's be the loudest. Let's cheer him the loudest and give him the best welcome. As I said, he's coming to a bookstore after years. We need to show him what he's been missing out on, right? Yes. And good questions, lots of audience questions. I'm going to pass on the mic to all of you. And yes, we'll take it from there. How many of y'all want to ask audience questions? That's it. I was going to dedicate so much of my time to this and ask lesser questions, but I think I'll have to change my questions now. How many of y'all want to ask him questions? Koi haath badi nahi raha. Come on, guys. Okay, fine. I will manage with this number, but at the end of the session, I need bigger, louder, and more powerful questions, okay? So, how many of y'all have read Chetan's previous books? All of them? Great. Is there anyone who can compete? How many of y'all have read all the books? Okay. So all the 14 books are there in the premises right now as we speak. But how many of y'all, okay, देख के बोल दो. How many of y'all know all the 14 names? Give it a shot. Come on. Okay, that's an easy one. That's a really easy one. I expected better. Okay, collectively give me an answer. Give me the first book. Okay, the second book. He's going to verify it for me. The publisher is going to verify it for me. Third book. Okay, fourth. Okay, order here and there is fine. Okay, 2 states. The fifth book. Sixth book. Seventh book. Okay. Eighth book. Ninth book. So guys, are all of you ready? Yes. Do you remember what I said? Yes. Give it up for Chetan Bhagat. I prepped them up a little bit. Guys, give it up for Chetan Bhagat once again. So does he need an introduction? Does he really need an introduction? No. How excited are all of you? We were just quizzing them about all your books, asking them if they know every single title by heart, and a lot of them know everything.
Thank you. Thank you. What? Okay. Hello? Hello. Hi. Hi guys. Hi Bangalore. Thank you for coming on a Tuesday. Most random day we have chosen.
Yes.
But somehow the schedule only worked out like this. So it means a lot coming on a Tuesday. I've heard the traffic is very good in this city. So despite that, you have come. So that's especially. Did you have a bath today? I don't know. I see the news like people like are not getting water.
I think I was going to add that to your list of traffic being good. You can add the weather and the water as well. We have amazing weather.
Water is okay now. Like so, what day is like a bathing day? Huh? Every day. Oh, so what was that? News was false.
No, I think we're looking at the good part of Bangalore.
Okay.
We're looking at the
No,
good
I'm
things
joking.
in
I'm
Bangalore.
joking. I have also taken a bath here. I came yesterday and I took a bath and there was water. And I was expecting like pata nahi kya hoga. But no, it's nice and it's always nice. By the way, so the highest number of Insta followers I have,
Okay.
small data point, are from Bengaluru.
That's amazing.
Even though by population it's not the highest city, right? I mean, Mumbai and Delhi are more. So Bangalore means a lot. All the tech bros reading Chetan Bhagat. What a stereotype. Okay. No, I'm joking. And so therefore it's very nice to be here. This is also, you can say, the first, right, Rashmi? This is our first book launch of this book. So, and I'm very lucky that we are getting into this. Such a nice, beautiful crowd. Did you like choose the crowd on good looks, or is it just everybody's extra good looking?
I again take credit for that. Bangalore, the jeans, the water.
The water, whenever it's there. Yes.
On that note, Chetan, Bangalore's most. I'm citing this because I'm from here. Welcome to Sapna Book House, another iconic thing of Bangalore.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Welcome all of you. I'm Natasha. I'm the marketing head at Sapna. So glad all of you could make it to the very, very special event. We have a meet and greet today with none other than Chetan Bhagat for his latest book, which we're going to talk about in a bit. But Chetan, how does it feel to be in a bookstore after a long time?
You're right. I've been here after a long time. My last 3 books released during COVID. So they were all like, I hate Zoom. It's so stupid. It's just not the same feeling, right? So it's good. It's there. It's better than nothing. But like we've done virtual book launches and, it's not the same. This is 3D.
In flesh.
2000 megapixel. It's not the same as 720p. It's there is something about real connection, live things, and being in a bookstore. It's really special, and like I said, it's after COVID. Like it's been after many, like more than 5 years or something. And while I do a lot of motivation talks, a book-based thing is always special, and it's for this book, which is very different from my earlier books. In May, like in a few weeks, it's going to be 20 years since 5 Point Someone came out.
Oh, wow.
So, dude, I'm old, man. I'm gonna be, and next month I'm gonna be 50, which is like I was writing campus love stories. How can I turn 50? But that's how the clock works, and I just don't feel like that, but I just felt like 50 is a very nice landmark age, and I want to put everything I've figured out in life, and mostly from my mistakes, in a book. And I wanted to make you, just because the publishing industry has to put it in a genre, so you can say self-help, but when you read the book, you'll realize it's more than self-help. And it became one of my personal books because each rule has come from my own mistakes. Things I haven't told my wife, I've put in this book. And,
So I think we're lucky.
Yeah, it just was such a journey. And to be honest, like even my publisher, Harper, they said, so you want to do self-help? Like, why don't you do fiction? It's what everybody, it's 100% we are confident it'll work. You've written so many. It's what is expected. And I said, you must do what is unexpected. And that's what I tell everybody, to surprise all the time and keep changing. And the only book, all my books have done well from a sales point of view, but the books that have been remembered, the books that really like people still talk about, are the books that have come from here. And they did not make sense when I was writing them. Those have been 5 point someone, which was my first book. Didn't make sense. Strange name for a book. Sitting in a bank writing, unknown, not famous. But that book made me who I am today. 2 states. You see, 2 states I thought will not work because it's the most common story. What is the story? South Indian or Punjabi. There's nothing spectacular happening in that thing. But that is remembered. That book has been out for 15 years.
Wow.
Right? And then it was this one. But the name is not like Half Girlfriend, which is instant, right? Oh my God, what is this book? I want to know what a half girlfriend is. Which half? So, but 11 Rules for Life is like Uncle Ji Gyan baant rahe hai. I was like, this is the one I want to write. And nothing else was making sense. And I said, let's go for it. And this is the one, if you check.
Yes.
Can I mention Amazon? I know it's a bookstore, but it's we all buy from there. It's okay. Sapna is Sapna and Amazon is Amazon. But in terms of ratings, at least, if you can go now, close to 4.8 out of 200 or so ratings, which has not happened with any of my books. And people have accepted it, and it is going to become in sales also. So I think it's a lesson that it has to come from here.
Absolutely.
Whatever it is, and it should not come from here. Because I have the problem of, I have a good brain also, but sometimes it becomes too business, too much entrepreneurship. And that's, my publisher likes. Sapna Bookstore also likes. And I feel, okay, I'm making everybody happy, but it's not from here.
Yeah.
So this one is from here, and I'm so glad it's worked.
Absolutely. And being testament to it coming from a bookstore, we've seen record sales for this book at Sapna. In 2 days, we've sold such a massive number. It's our internal record that we've sold the maximum copies for this book.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's not got any like love story in it or anything, but it has heart. And that's what people like.
I think the book's got you. That's what's
It's
working.
got me. It's got me. I gave the book to my kids to read before. I wanted their feedback also because my boys are 19 now. So it's, it's for young people. And they were like, they didn't know things about me, which are in the book. And so it's been really satisfying at that level to do this now. And more confidence in doing things if I feel like doing it, not because, Excel sheet nahi karna hai. But I have a tendency. I mean, I've worked in a bank, went to IIT. This is my brain automatically says, ऐसे करते हैं, ये करेंगे, scale करेंगे, business startup करना है. ये तो city भी है ना, valuation and numbers. नहीं, वो तो बैंक छोड़ा था ना. I left the bank for that because I was sick of all that. But again, if I keep doing that, no. So I think there should be some people left in this world who are all heart. Yeah.
Thank you for giving a part of your heart to all of us, for sharing your life with all of us. Guys, if you haven't read the book, there's a lot of personal stuff. There's a lot of stuff about your life as well that you've mentioned in the book. And there's so much to learn. So kudos to you. You were the first person to actually revolutionize reading in India. Your books got the Indian youth to start reading.
Thank you.
And today, here you are back on the same stage, trying to teach them how to live life in the right way, get them out of the cat race. And I think we all are so grateful to you for doing that.
No, thank you. And now, having said that, this is a motivation, self-help kind of book because I have done motivation events a lot. Like I've done more than 700 talks in colleges and things like that, and 1,000 YouTube videos. I have a YouTube channel on motivation. So it was like I have some understanding, but I've worked in a bank, I've worked in a corporate, and I was one of those people who used to think कि पूरी motivation industry scam है. This is a full fraud industry. This whole self-help is fraud. Honestly, I'm telling you, मेरे को ये लगता था कि कैसे हमें बताएंगे कैसे जीना है. Right? What is this nonsense? वो मोटिवेट करेंगे, नहीं होंगे मोटिवेट करके दिखाओ. This used to be my attitude. And then I started doing this. And then on my YouTube channel and after talks and after people meeting me after many long time, they said, "Sir, you've changed my life." I said, he's just saying it. Like, you're saying nice things about me because I'm chief guest. So, okay.
No, I
अच्छा
really
है.
mean it.
He's very nice. Okay. He's been really. But I was खुश कर रहा है. But then it happened a lot. And they said, you really did change my life. And I was like, he could have just said, I like your book or I like your writing or I liked your video. But why is he saying I've changed your life? And then I tried to figure out how does it happen. And I didn't try to read a lot of science behind motivation, neuroscience, how actually, because then I started using my brain part, not just the heart part. Ki kaise hota hai? How does it actually happen? Because it is a pretty big space and it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So when it works, how it works, because if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this in the correct way. Because the world is flooded with self-help and it can get a little scammy sometimes. But I will not do it that way. I will try to actually see what works. And that became a journey. And that's how this book came about. And yeah, it can work. And I'll tell you how it can work is our brains have circuits, which are pathways in our brain based on what we believe.
Yes.
Stories are very important, not just as I'm a writer, but we have stories filed in our brain. In brain, it's called narrative. For example, one of the narratives, I was very fat throughout my life, and my narrative was, I cannot resist gulab jamun. I just can't. Simple
All of our
narrative.
weakness.
Not, we all have. What is your trigger food? You all have? What's,
Yes.
huh?
Chocolates.
Chocolates. कोई तो बोल दो Mysore Pak here. Huh? Chocolates. काजू का, this is something. So it's in your brain कि वो आ गई तो all bets are off.
Yes.
एक डब्बा आ गया तो पूरा डब्बा गया, है ना? What is it? What is actually happening at this cellular level, neuron level in your brain? There is a brain circuit which is shortcut automatic. काजू कतली खानी ही है. Don't even evaluate. हार गए भाई. गुलाब जामुन खाना ही है. Unhealthy food, chips, whatever, it could be anything, for example. Now that's there. It's almost like a 4-lane highway in your brain. When Kaju Katli comes, hand goes, put in mouth. Some instruction has gone, no? Anybody from IT here? What a silly question to ask here. In Bangalore, right?
Quite a few.
Yeah. So, वो basically एक program गया है. Kaju Katli, spot, grab, stuff in mouth. Straight. It's a 4-lane highway. Now suppose I tell you tomorrow there is a party. There'll be Kaju Katli, best Kaju Katli in India. But don't have it just tomorrow. Aap mat khana kal. And you don't have it. Then what happens in your brain? The story is, I normally cannot resist Kaju Katli, but one day I resisted it. That's the story now.
Yes.
If I say 5 days nahi khana hai, 5 parties nahi khana hai, मुश्किल होगी, तकलीफ होगी, लेकिन कर लोगे. Then what is the story? I normally can't resist Kaju Katli, but 5 times I have resisted. Then I tell you 30 times karo. So on and so forth. And you do it 30 times. Say, I used to be able to not resist Kaju Katli, but now I can. New story. What has happened? There is a 4-lane highway and you have to make a new highway, which is not easy, which is forest. पेड़ हटाने हैं. You have to make a muddy path, पगडंडी बनाना है, फिर उसके बाद paving होगा रोड का, फिर एक लेन बनेगा, 2 लेन. Then another highway will be made, and that is the taklif of leaving Kaju Katli at every party. But your brain is reprogramming. And that's the new highway. And after you have it enough time, there's a new highway. And once you realize that एक और highway था, but it was not serving me. That habit was not serving me. That belief, that narrative was not serving me. वो highway atrophy कर जाता है, वो घुल जाता है. That circuit is gone, and the new circuit is there. This is possible. It happens very easily when you are a kid. When you are older, it is harder. But it is there. It's called neuroplasticity. It is a documented scientific phenomena. These are all good things happen. Now, this can happen to you about your job confidence. This can happen to you about your ability to open a business. This can happen to you about your confidence speaking English. This can happen to you about your dating ability. I can't talk to girls. All my IT friends were like that. ladki aa gayi. Brain narrative.
Yes.
2 मिनट बात करके आ. Okay, I can talk. Like that. Anything and everything in life is here. The day you think you can do it, you start doing it, and everything you do in life is a manifestation of what you thought one day. तो यहाँ पे काम कर सकता है एक स्पीकर. यहाँ पे मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ कि अगर आप ऐसे सोचोगे तो आपकी लाइफ बदल सकती है. योर होल लाइफ कैन चेंज. आई कैन डू इट इन अ टॉक, आई कैन डू इट हियर, आई कैन ट्राई टू डू इट इन अ वीडियो, बट नथिंग इज एज डीप एज अ बुक. Book ka mechanism is different. That's why textbooks, like the way you learn physics, is through textbooks. You can't do it in a lecture, like in a pure lecture or a pure video में नहीं होगा. You have to अध्ययन करना पड़ता है हमें. So a book will help you shift the highway better, show you the new path. Then you have to make the path. Of course, I can't make the path for you, but I can lay down the blueprint. ये बनाना है, ये खराब वाला highway है, ये अच्छा है. That तीसरी आंख मैं खोल सकता हूँ, and then you can work on it. That's how this thing works. What that means is you definitely need a good speaker, good writer, but you have to take action. So today you've come to meet me. Don't just enjoy and go. Take some action in your life. Then this becomes next level talk. Otherwise, it's just content. अच्छा बोले सर, तो फिर तो कुछ भी देख लेते हैं. एनिमल पिक्चर देख लेते हैं. But if you say, dude, बात सही कर रहा है, I'm going to read this book and I'm going to change something about my life, I'm going to be a totally different person. That is the magic. And you'll not believe yourself. And why I've had to reveal so much about my personal life is because it was important to show where I've come from. I mean, I had a really fucked up childhood. Now that I think about it, उस टाइम मुझे नहीं पता लग रहा था. Like, it was as fucked up as it can get, and you'll read it in the book. But still, I got somewhere in life. How? So that is, I think, was needed for that. So I've debated a lot, ki karu na karu. But it won't make sense until I put my own thing here. So that's really this journey, and that's why I try to be as sincere and really try to write a book which actually will cause those highways to be shift, and you will see a beautiful highway and you say, Kaju Katli wala highway is not making sense, yaar. अभी फिटनेस का हाईवे डालने का है अपने को. गडकरी साहब को बुलाओ अभी. You have to be your own Nitin Gadkari and make it.
Yes.
And we do it. That's life, yaar. That is life. Every day you improve. Every day you make a better road and get rid of whatever was not serving you. Maybe one day it did serve you. One day something had served you, but now it doesn't. आप कॉलेज में थे, आप कॉलेज में बाइक पे व्हीलीज करते थे, लड़कियां खुश हो रही है, it served you. But you were 18, Sandy. Now you're 38. Now don't do wheelies. Now you get a job and buy a house and have a bank balance, learn to invest, and your name is Sandeep, not Sandy. Different. So you just, sometimes a good thing also becomes bad after a while. Sorry, very long answer, but...
I'm so glad you're here, and I'd really want to take this opportunity to actually unveil the book and show everyone what's in store for them. As you heard it from Chetan's mouth, this is his life in a book, his life in a couple of pages, and your opportunity to change your life. I request Rashmi Menon, the editor, to come on stage. I also request Paresh Shah, the managing director.
Hi.
So, ladies and gentlemen, unveiling Chetan's latest book, 11 Rules for Life. How many of y'all are excited to read about? How many of y'all are excited to read about the book? Oh, wow. That's really fast. So, Chetan, you've actually got India to a benchmark. You've been the face of India
You've represented India. India has recognized your work with 14 books, so many motivational videos, so many talks. You've become a symbol in India and across the globe. In today's times, why did you feel a need for such a book in today's society? Do you think that, in the path that which we are going in, needs a book like this?
I like love stories a lot. Okay, that's my. I do like love and love stories.
We like your books as well.
And I really wanted to do that, and maybe I will next. But I also felt, to be honest, when my first book came out, 5 Point Someone, there was no, like, the internet had just come. There were no smartphones. There was no, and the internet was also very slow. There was not much entertainment. We used to get bored. In hostels, I remember my book was like, people would rip it up and 10 pages would be read like that, and they'll exchange. Now, there's a glut of entertainment content. We cannot keep up with the web series. We cannot keep up with all the YouTube videos. Instagram reels are another filler for every, even if you have 5 minutes, just put it on. It is huge.
Yes.
Now, in that, I put one more story out there. It's nice. It will be my story, so it's okay. Something special because it'll be my own way of doing it. I just felt that is not what the world needs. That's why I said came from here. What people need is how to live in these times. We don't have a user manual to live in these times of huge hyper technology interference in our daily lives. And how do we be happy? How do we become successful? How do we really get somewhere in life and not live a life of regret? So that was missing. So I saw the self-help books that were there, and there are some brilliant, I do read self-help, whether it's an Atomic Habits or whether it's, I don't know, Deep Work or any Ikigai, all these books that have done really well lately, they did not have an Indian context at all. You have the best self-help book from America, but America is a meritocracy, largely. Of course, not 100% nowhere. India is not. It's a very unfair place. You don't do like, oh, you're good, so you'll be given a chance. No. Who do you know? Huh? Papa kaun hai aapke? Now there's no book like that for people to know how to live my life. No book for children to understand that this is how the thing is. There's a class system in the way India works. Even if the caste system is gone, there's a class system.
I agree.
Right? And as a writer, I felt this has to be shared. These guys are sitting here. I want to make sure these guys also listen to me. Right?
Yeah.
We should not, like, so it's and this kind of book wasn't there. So I said, okay, maybe I can write something. We can add something value which is not in the bookshelves already, which is, so this book is basically a story of a Zomato delivery guy who comes to me and is really messed up and effed up in life. And I say, you give me food every day, I'll give you one rule every day. And that's the structure of the book. So that makes it more interesting also, but it also makes it very, very specific to India and India of today, which is what I've always done. And I think that's hopefully where people will see the merit in this book, which other great books cannot do because they are not written from this way. So I want Indian youth to do well. That's just, I felt that's more important than me writing one more hit, one more movie, one more bestseller. Okay. It's just part of the, now you don't even say all that now. You just said, does he need an introduction? खत्म हो गई बात. तो अभी क्या करूँ फिर रेज्यूमे और बढ़ा के? अब लोगों का रेज्यूमे बनाओ ना. मेरा तो हो गया अभी. कितना करेंगे अभी?
And I think with so much content being available, there's a lot of show where you're in fact living your life to show the world rather than living your life for yourself. And there's a chapter, your rule also talks about it, of how people in today's times actually live for the gram. If you're going on a holiday, you're going for Instagram rather than going for yourself. You're going somewhere, you're doing it to show the world rather than doing it for your own satisfaction.
Yeah. Everybody is watching Instagram. छुट्टी पे गए पर बाकी लोग की छुट्टियां देख रहे हो. मॉलडीव में ब्रेकफास्ट खा रहे हैं, तालाब में आ रहा है टेबल प्लेट पे.
वो सेटअप करने के लिए कितना टाइम लगता है.
अरे कभी आपका कांटा पानी में गिर गया, फिर क्या करोगे? हाँ, आपका केचप पानी में गिर गया, खा रहे हो, अंडा गिर गया पानी में, फिर
वो तो BTS कंटेंट है ना, वो कोई नहीं दिखाता.
ऐसे बस बिकिनी पहन के खा रही है वो बैठ के जैम ब्रेड. What is that?
A lot of times that's not even eaten. That's just for the gram and then that's kept aside. The real food is
वही
something
ब्रेकफास्ट 4 लोगों के और में होता है, मैंने देखा है. एक ही मंगाते हैं, फिर ऐसे सब वीडियो बना लो. और वो भी अब हम लक्षद्वीप में बनाएंगे.
else. Yes.
हम मालदीव में नहीं. You know, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. And I'll tell you, I was also stupid. तो मैं ये नहीं कह रहा. Getting old has lot of disadvantages. Okay? वो तो है ही कि अब हम जवान नहीं हैं. बट कुछ एडवांटेजेस हैं कि ये वाली स्टुपिडिटी चली जाती है कि लोगों को दिखाना है.
I think somewhere all of us are still in that social pressure.
वो बहुत ज्यादा है. एंड मेरे में भी था. मैं तो टोटल पीपल प्लीजर. एंड you know, I remember I left my job in banking and I went to a party. And all my batchmates are IIT IIM, right? So they are my friends. वो लोग अभी भी बैंक में लगे हुए हैं, छाप रहे हैं पैसे. I had just left. At that time, my bank books didn't make much money for me or whatever. So, he said, तूने छोड़ दिया नौकरी? हाँ, छोड़ दिया. Hindi is okay for people?
Absolutely.
हाँ, तो तूने छोड़ दिया नौकरी? छोड़ दिया. अच्छा बता, बुक्स लिख रहा है, पैसे कितने बनाता है? Because he is a banker. His language is money. That's it. I had not left banking for money. Right? I had not left it for money. I had left it for the love of writing, because there's nothing, he will never know that feeling of writing, me being able to write a story, which he, out of nowhere, which just comes, it's a gift. But that's not how I saw it then. मैंने कहा यार, अब पैसे बनाने हैं, इसको दिखाऊंगा. वो अपना विस्की डाल के चला गया. उसको पता भी नहीं है मेरे अंदर क्या मेंटल प्रोसेस क्या चालू कर दिया उसने. एंड आई जस्ट सेड, just because I've left my job doesn't mean I have to make money. And I gave talks and did events and I did Nach Baliye. I did a judging of Nach Baliye. कैसे बन रहे हैं? दिखा देंगे. I was traveling all the time, sleeping in different hotel rooms, eating crap. I lost my health. I was losing my hair. My hair has come back, you know, now because I've finally akkal aayi hai. And I just spent many years just trying to make money to show him. And then I went to the next party. He never even asked me that question. अब मैं बताऊं कैसे उसे कि ओए मैंने बना लिया अभी. मैं और क्या हाल है, क्या हाल है? हाँ ठीक है तो बढ़िया जा रहा है. ठीक है, और क्या चल रहा है? पूछ ना कितने पैसे बनाता है. पूछ ही नहीं रहा है वो. He didn't even know, poor thing. But I was living for him.
Yeah.
I was not living for myself. So that's one kind of not living. It's not living for yourself. The other kind is, and I think that especially happens to women, where they want to live to serve others. Because girls are expected to be nice and sweet and pleasant. That's what they expect. अच्छी लड़की है. What does you say? अच्छी लड़की.
हाँ.
है ना? अच्छी लड़की मतलब सबका कहना मानती है ना? क्या बोलते हैं? This is a broad stereotype. And what does that mean? You live to serve others. Be a great mom. Be a great daughter. Good girl. Good wife. Good relative. Good bahu. You know, good mother-in-law maybe. I don't know. But there is some pressure. And in that, you lose yourself.
Absolutely.
Now, what motivation? And I'm saying this from my experience because I've given talks at, say, Fikki Ladies Organization. The best motivation tips I give you, the best brain neurochemistry I explain to you, if you are not going to live for yourself, how is it ever going to change? You are living to serve others, or you're living to, in my first case, show others. Of course, women can also live to show others, and men can also live to serve others. वो भी होता है. You want to be a good dad, you want to be a good son, all that. But I'm just saying, more or less, the pressure is more on women to. But then you're not being true to yourself. And one day you realize, यार, I've not lived my life. मैंने तो कुछ करा ही नहीं जो मेरे को करना था. And the sad part is, neither my friend asks me or praises me कि तूने कमा लिया वैसे. And neither does the woman get told, Mom, you're such a great mom. Or what an amazing wife you've been. कोई नहीं बोलेगा आके. तो खुद का ही ध्यान रखो ना यार. फर्स्ट स्टेप तो ये है. Nothing, एक saying है, nothing's gonna change if nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna change if nothing's gonna change. If you don't even want to prioritize yourself, why you need motivational speaker? Why you need self-help? You're not ready. तुम तो मर मिटने आए हो यहाँ पे, या लोगों को दिखाने आए हो. This trap I was in for 40 years of my life, 45 years of my life. I'm 50 now. And I'm so happy that I'm out of it, that I'm rather be 50 than a young 21-year-old stupid me again. You know, so it's just, like I said, these are things we never think about. तो वो जर्नी कैसे, मैं बोलूँ okay, I can give you fitness tips, I can give you this tips, that tips. But ये first thing तो ये है ना कि आपके दिमाग में प्रायोरिटी किसकी है? आपकी है या किसी और की है, या इंस्टाग्राम के फॉलोअर? वो तो सबसे ही स्टूपिड है. वो लोग कौन है जिनके लाइक्स आप इकट्ठे कर रहे हो? You know, so yeah, that's once you get that, you know, then you say, okay, this is important to me. I'm going to live for myself. And the funny thing is, when you live for yourself, you can do more for others.
Yes.
I'm here sharing all these secrets with you because I have lived my life. And now I am bountiful. But if you are unhappy and you think you can make other people happy, वो तो होता ही नहीं है. अपना ऑक्सीजन मास्क तो पहले लगाना ही पड़ता है.
For sure.
तो वो है लाइफ में, you know, and these are things, I don't know what you call it. Do you call it motivation? Do you call it self-help? But these are things which people don't see. And then they say, why am I stuck in life? Well, dude, this is why you're stuck.
But Chetan, I think it takes so much courage to be in a place like yours and actually accept and say such things, that you've been in a similar place as all of us. We've always had a picture of a celebrity, of a known person. We have a different perseverance कि इनकी लाइफ ऐसी ही है, इनकी लाइफ
कैसे सोचते हैं? मतलब ऐसे रेशम की चादरों पे लोटता हूँ और अंगूर खाता हूँ. ऐसे like you think कैसे जीते होंगे?
as what the social media shows.
Or like I eat breakfast in the.
So it definitely.
It's very inconvenient. Just imagine, it's floating around. Toast. अरे लहरों में चला गया.
But it takes a lot of courage. I think we really applaud you today for.
You know, we have to be accept whatever, wherever we've screwed up. I'll tell you another thing. जो नहीं बताते हैं. They say follow your passion. Go after it. Focus. एक ही मंजिल की तरफ बढ़ते जाओ. This is a classic motivation speaker talk. Have focus. Go after your job. Love your job and throw everything into it. Okay, good advice. मैंने भी किया है. I loved it. I was very lucky. I found something I loved, and I got huge success for it. Fame, money, everything. But do you know what happens when you focus on something very deeply? Everything else becomes a distraction, including your family. ये नहीं बताता कोई. Including all your relationships. भाई तो हमारा तो passion है. And then that suffers. Your kids feel, for all other dads, their kids are everything. For dad, there's something he loves as much as us, or even more. Maybe the writing he loves more than us. Now I can try and compensate, buy them things. They will feel it. ये कोई नहीं बात करता. But this is also there. So it's up to me to realize कि इसकी भी limit है. You know, मेरे को balance बना के रखना है. You know, this is good. But I cannot throw everything in this and ignore my relationships or ignore my health, for example, which a lot of people do in the name of career. So, you know, these are things which we've all screwed up on. And a lot of people who are hyper successful pay a price. बिल तो आता है ना. बिल तो आएगा.
For sure.
हर चीज का बिल आता है लाइफ में. फ्री कुछ नहीं है.
डेफिनेटली आपकी बुक में एक और बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग बात है आपने बोली है कि इफ़ यू बिलीव इन स्टफ लाइक इक्वालिटी एंड इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड द फैक्ट दैट गुड कम टू गुड पीपल you've been fooled. That's a very strong statement in one of the rules that you've mentioned.
हाँ, अब वो एक बड़ा अच्छा सा हिरन है जंगल में घूम रहा है, इज वेरी गुड हिरन। शेर को भूख लगी, शेर ने उसे लंच पे खा लिया। क्या क्या हिरन ने क्या बुरा किया था? दुनिया ऐसी है नहीं। अभी हमने ह्यूमन बींग्स हैव मेड अ सोसाइटी एंड वी हैव अ ब्रेन टू फिक्स एंड मेक बिल्डिंग्स एंड एयर कंडीशनिंग एंड लाइटिंग, बट दिस इज अ जंगल. इट इज नॉट अ प्लेस फॉर कंफर्ट. नहीं तो सबके कमरे होते, सब चेक इन करते. This is a place where you have to survive and there is competition.
Absolutely.
And you have to hunt and you have to never forget that about life. So we made rules and we've tried to do equality so that there's no chaos every day like a jungle. But broadly speaking, if you want it, you have to go get it. Nobody's going to give it to you because you're good. Go get it. You know, कोई लाइफ में तुम्हें कुछ नहीं देगा. Nobody is coming to save you. किसी ने नहीं मेरे को बोला बनो राइटर, किसी ने नहीं बोला ये कि बड़ा अच्छा लड़का है, इसको ऊपर चढ़ाते हैं लाइफ में. क्यों? No. Go get it. That's the context in which I'm saying that. And this is never told. Always you said good conduct in school. Good this. But also learn to get, be a go-getter. Otherwise नहीं आएगा. Simple. तो ये तो है बात.
Definitely. I think all of you pick up the book, read the book. These 11 rules are rules which will change your life. They're not rules. At the end of the day, they'll become Bible of your life where you really want to change your life using these. Thank you so much for bringing these rules to us. Another very, very interesting thing that you actually spoke about was the iron gates of the society, that the society is classified in so many different ways. A lot of us blame our kismat, destiny. If something goes wrong, the first thing we say is, my luck. I have such bad luck. Meri kismat aisi hai. The first statement that comes out of most of our mouths is the fact that, okay, something has gone wrong. I blame my destiny for it. And that's a very, very powerful topic that you actually touched upon.
ये अपने रिंग्स भी किस्मत के लिए पहने हैं.
एक वेडिंग रिंग है
और दूसरा
मम्मी ने दी है,
और तीसरा
एंगेजमेंट रिंग.
वो सेम ही है ना, एंगेजमेंट वेडिंग वाला. हाँ. ओके 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 ना. या हम या किस्मत को कहते हैं या किसी और चीज को कहते हैं. यार अगर मेरा अच्छा हस्बैंड होता ना, मैं आज कहाँ से कहाँ होती. इतना लल्लू है. या my wife never supported me, that person's wife was so supported, he opened a startup, made a unicorn. वो तो यहाँ पे होता ही होगा ना ऐसी बातें. तो यार or like if the government was better, or if the city was better, if the roads were better. This is all a template sentence. I talk about it in the book, which basically says, if others behaved better, my life would be better.
Yes.
ये टेंडेंसी हम सब की है. If others behave better, my life would be better. मेरी मदर इन लॉ बेटर होती तो आज मेरी लाइफ अच्छी होती. मेरे बच्चे अच्छे, like मेरे पेरेंट्स अगर मुझे अच्छा पुश करते तो मेरी लाइफ बेटर होती. मेरे पेरेंट्स ने मुझे इतना पुश ना किया होता तो मेरी लाइफ बेटर होती. कुछ भी. If others behaved better, my life would be better. It's a narrative and it's useless. Because now what? Okay, even if it's true, है आपका हस्बैंड लल्लू नंबर 1. Okay. Well, अब can you change him? No. He'll change when he wants to change. He doesn't know. Now what are you going to do? What if I say to you, it's your fault that you let him affect you so much? अब change हो गई game. It's your fault that you let lallu people affect you so much.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the rules. It's your fault. It's now once you say it's your fault, then you say, okay, what can I do about it? Then you have an action plan. Okay, maybe I'll start ignoring his critical comments. Maybe I will begin my journey of whatever I want to do anyway. चाहे ये सपोर्ट करे ना करे, मैं तो अपनी दुकान खोल रही हूँ, जो भी आपका है. And it's, you have a plan, you have a way forward. If you keep blaming, if I say मैं तो पंजाबी घर में पैदा हुआ था, वहां तो हेल्दी खाना मिला ही नहीं हमें, हमारी तो आदतें खराब हो गई हैं, अब I cannot be fit. How does it help? Right? So I have to say, no, I am the one who did not learn to get self-control around food. So how can I get self-control? This is the plan. So this is the way you need to start thinking. It's all here. Like I said, यहाँ बदल जाता है तो सब बदल जाता है. दुनिया बदल जाती है, बंदा बदल जाता है और लोग पहचान नहीं पाते. अरे यार ये तो कहाँ से कहाँ पहुँच गया. That's because something switched here. That's it. So that's the point I was trying to make there.
Thank you so much. Chetan, I think it's hard to succeed, but in my opinion, it's harder to sustain. For over 2 decades, your books have been on the top shelf and they don't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. What's your secret? What's the rule that you followed in your life to sustain for 2 whole decades and be so relevant?
It is these rules only, but in particular, there's one rule, which is about adaptation and called the be the cockroach or whatever. I have always adapted and I've always changed, basically. For example, within books, there is a lot of adaptation. There were love stories, there were murder mysteries, and now this. All big, big risks. 3 different genres, 3 different best-selling genres. You can have a very big thriller genre, you can have a very big romance genre, very big self-help genre. But you will not find writers who have done all 3.
Yes.
To be at the top of your game, to be the number 1 romance writer in India and switch to a thriller is a huge risk. To be now have 3 murder mysteries that have been bestsellers, now another one would have been, okay, yeah, that's what he writes now. There's Keshav and Saurabh detective series. People love those characters. Just have to do one more. But to turn it around and do this is a huge risk. But that refreshes me. You can say refreshes the brand, keeps it all fresh. And then, of course, switching to motivational speaking or YouTube videos or doing movies or doing different things, which keeps me creatively primed up always and doing fresh things. There's something fresh. I don't know what is next, but I know it'll be different from what I've done. No sequels, nothing. There's some series in the murder mystery, but it's not really sequels. That's it. So I think the constant adaptation is what one needs in these times, not just for writers, for anybody. If you want to have long careers, you have to keep changing over time, whether it's tech, whether it's, writing or anything. And I think that's really the secret, that I'm not as afraid of change. I'm still afraid of change. We all get scared with change, but I'm not that afraid. I'm scared to not change more. I'm scared of the day people will say कि यार ये वही अपना चेतन भगत, वही अपना. बीच में कई बार हुआ भी है, जैसे like half girlfriend तक people say, और यार वही love story. You don't know what to expect with me, but there'll be something fresh each time. And like I said, there won't just be books. There are talks. There's so many other things I do. Keeps you fresh. And I think, yeah, some of it is kismat though. I must say, some of it is still kismat, of course.
Kismat fueled with a lot of hard work as well, right?
काम तो करना है. काम तो करना है.
That's something that I personally believe in, that your luck amps up the more harder you work.
काम, मेरा पूरा पर्सपेक्टिव काम पे चेंज हो गया, बिकॉज मेरे को भी ऐसे लगता था कि आई एम फ्रॉम मिडिल क्लास बैकग्राउंड. मोस्ट ऑफ अस हियर आर प्रॉब्ली फ्रॉम मिडिल क्लास बैकग्राउंड्स, एंड मिडिल क्लास पीपल थिंक द अल्टीमेट एम ऑफ लाइफ इज अमीर हो जाएं बस एक दिन. अमीर हो जाएं तो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व है. अमीर लाइफ चाहिए. और मुझे सच्ची में ये लगता था कि अमीर लोग सारा दिन दे लाई डाउन ऑन सिल्क शीट्स एंड ईट ग्रेप्स. आई यूज्ड टू थिंक दिस इज व्हाट लाइफ इज, एंड हम मिडिल क्लास लोग घिसते जा रहे हैं, मैं भी एक दिन अमीर हो जाऊंगा. बट इट्स नॉट ट्रू. इट्स द वर्स्ट लाइफ व्हेन यू हैव नथिंग टू डू. इट्स द वर्स्ट लाइफ, एंड सिल्क इज नॉट सो कंफर्टेबल, एंड यू कैन नॉट. हाउ मेनी ग्रेप्स कैन यू हैव? कितने खा लोगे? आधा किलो खा लोगे? उसके बाद लगेगा अरे यार बस अभी बस सर ले जाओ इसे. So I think this all imagery has come from like old Hindi movies where Bollywood villains na, they would do this.
Eat grapes.
ऐसे जो rich Bollywood villains will like loot poor people and eat grapes, and some girl is feeding grapes. Ranjit and all. So I used to think this is the life ultimate, but it's not. Life is in the hard work. Life is uphill. Zindagi chadhai hai. It's like a beautiful green mountain with flowers. And it's beautiful. Life is beautiful. But it's a mountain. रोज थोड़ा चढ़ना है. जिस दिन आपने सोचा ना चढ़ना नहीं है, अब आराम करेंगे, अब लेटेंगे, ठीक है, थक गए हो लेट जाओ थोड़ी देर, बट एक लाइफस्टाइल ऑफ लेटना बना लिया ना कि भाई नहीं करना, वेला करनी है, यू विल बी द मोस्ट डिप्रेस्ड अनहैप्पी पर्सन. ये भी मैं बता दूं, कोई खुश नहीं रह सकता. Because, and it's a longer discussion why, but it literally has to do with the way your brain's reward system works, and you adapt, and like it just pleasures, you adapt to pleasures, and it doesn't work. आपके घर में गुलाब जामुन की कढ़ाइयाँ रख दूंगा, ये नहीं कि आप दुनिया के सबसे खुश आदमी बन जाओगे. It won't happen. You'll probably get sick of them. Yeah. So किससे फिर? How do you keep that circuit running nicely? Hard work, productive hard work, work you care about, but hard work, things you don't want to do, you have to do. वही ब्रेन को अच्छा लगता है इवेंचुअली. वो चाहता है ना करे काम, पर करो. That is the secret to life. So it keeps me happy. It also gives me more success, which is nice. But now it's more about the process for me. नहीं ये नहीं करना तो क्या करेंगे फिर अंगूर इतने. I did try, yes.
And avocados. You have a very interesting take on avocados as well.
Avocado मेरे को समझ नहीं आती है क्या ये. इतना overrated. ब्लैंड सा नहीं है, ऐसे साबुन सा लगता, ठीक है, जैसे साबुन गल जाता है ना, जैसे हमाम साबुन. 600 रुपए का एक बैंडरा में मिलता है, 600 रुपए का एक. Do you know हमाम साबुन? Supposing it melts, sometimes it gets, वैसा ही टेक्सचर है उसका. It's okay, it tastes so, it has no taste. It's some kind of a fat, like a nature's butter they call it, but it's just so big. Like now, I don't know why it's so big.
A lot of these interesting and absolutely humorous things are mentioned in the book. We are having a conversation. You have no context about it. Grab the book. You'll know exactly what we're talking about. Chetan, I think we can go on for hours and hours, and I think none of us would want this conversation to end. But to ask you one last question, from an IIT to a bank job to an author, to a very, very successful author whose books are turned into movies, then to a motivational speaker and to a public face, and being recognized across the globe. If you were to summarize Chetan Bhagat in one line, what would that be?
I think I'm God's own pen. That's how I like to be.
That's very, very beautiful.
But I do feel वहीं से आता है. नहीं तो इतनी, मैं सपना भी आता हूँ, इतनी सारी बुक्स है. Why is my selling the most? समझ नहीं आता. Each book is a success story. Each book must have taken years to write, get published, rejections. सबकी एक journey है. And then mine is selling, and after 20 years also. So कुछ तो है. कहीं कुछ चल रहा है किसी ऊपर ना. कोई अच्छे कर्म किए हैं.
Absolutely.
तो वो अभी है. अब इस बार स्वर्ग होगा कि नहीं, I don't know. क्योंकि अभी काफी पाप भी कर दिया मैंने. But I'm okay. I mean, I think Nark is more interesting. I mean, सोचो, if you go to स्वर्ग, Anna Hazare is hanging out. Mother Teresa is there. And एक शीशे की वॉल है, वहाँ नर्क में पार्टी चल रही है. And it's not very comfortable. They're sitting on wooden benches and partying. Right?
But it's a lot more fun.
और यहाँ पे ऐसे आओ बेटा खाना खा लो, स्प्राउट्स बने हैं, एवोकाडोस खा लो जितने मर्जी, स्वर्ग में एवोकाडोस खाओ. और वहाँ पे मतलब ऐसे लाइक पूल पार्टी चालू है, बिकॉज वो तो लोग तो वैसे ही आएंगे ना वहाँ पे, उनकी तो नेचर वही है. एंड आई वाज लाइक, सो वेयर डू यू वांट टू बी, स्वर्ग और नर्क, राइट? सो इतना भी नहीं डरना चाहिए नर्क से. एटलीस्ट लोग तो ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग होंगे वहां पे, सबकी कहानी होंगी कि सर तो आप यहाँ कैसे पहुंचे आपने क्या पाप किए थे. हाँ.
I think thank you so much for an absolutely wonderful conversation. We knew you were enigmatic, but not a lot of us knew you were so humorous and
Thank you.
so witty. Thank you so much for an amazing conversation today. I think it is our pleasure to have you here, and it's an honor to be amongst you today.
Thank
And so grateful from all of us, especially from Sapna Book House. Thank you, and hope you keep writing, and hope you keep coming here for many, many more launches.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to open the floor for
Okay.
questions. There's a lot that.
We can take a few. Yeah.
Yes. Would you want to pick?
कैसे करूँ, आप ही कर दो मैडम.
If how many of you all have a question for Chetan? I think I'll start from here.
Do one
from-
guy, one girl, like that.
Done.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Hi, good evening.
Please say your name and what you do, or
I'm Meenakshi SM.
and your trigger food.
Yes.
Food you cannot resist.
Yes. I'm Meenakshi SM. I'm a South Indian Kannadiga. I'm an advertising professional, wellness coach, and a certified astrologer.
Oh wow, that's a lot. And what is the food you can't resist?
Dharwad Peda.
Oh, but that's really good now.
I have it downstairs. I'll
That
get
is
you after the
very-
event.
No, don't get me.
No, it's down.
No,
In the
I like it doesn't mean I should.
because
have it.
Bangalore is hosting. At least we should offer, right?
It's very, very good. I know. Yes.
Okay. So my question was, like you explained the brain trigger through the, the example of Kaju Katli. Like that, is that like once I achieve success, that I want success more and more, I work towards it. Is there a particular brain pattern or a success
Yes.
thing happening which makes us chase that?
Yes. Anything that is pleasurable can become an addiction. नशा कोई भी हो, वो लंबा नहीं होना चाहिए. लंबा नशा लत पड़ जाती है, which means anything that is like that can become addiction. Cigarettes, work can become, success can become, sweets can become, anything. Pornography, because brain तो एक ही है, एक structure is same. The method of dopamine release is same. You'll see more in the book. But so therefore you have to be careful. And I have seen a lot of success addicts. For example, in my own case, I remember nothing's quite as crazy for the head as seeing a movie on your book in all the screens in India. It goes your brain. I haven't had cocaine, but I think it's better than that, because it is such a high, right? To see this story came in my head, and now there's a theater full of people watching my imagination, which has been created by movie stars for years.
Yes.
Trying to do this. What's just happened? And I just to think that if I didn't think of it, Three Idiots wouldn't be there, But it is a high. It is a freaking drug, because after a few weeks the movie goes, and then people are watching another movie, and you're like, nahi yaar, meri kyun nahi dekh rahe?
100 crore club.
And then you are, but that goes. Jitna bhi chal jaye, 1 mahina, 2 mahina, is gone, right?
But
It's the nature of the thing.
100 crore.
But in your head, you want that high again. You want to feel that thing, and and so you start working on another movie project. And movie project it's not an easy high to get.
Exactly.
It takes 3 years. It takes a lot of work. Kill yourself. You have to maybe give up your health. Just get another high. And I've had several. And then one day I realized, it's my life. I've spent 15 years doing these movies, 5 movies, and I can do 5 more. And then I'm 70 years old. So who won in the end? Is it really what I want? Or is there more to life? And then I at least had the awareness that this is a high. And everybody in the Bollywood is on that high.
Yeah.
It's the best drug. But like all drugs, it's bad for you. Like they will kill you one day, literally. And so success can be like that. Yes, it can be.
Just a follow up.
I just let to give other people a chance. So
No,
that's just for that, ma'am. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but because so many people have raised their hand.
Hi, it's very nice to meet you in person. I'm Dr. C.P. Ravikumar. I'm a pediatric neurologist.
Oh,
I think
wow.
you're referring to dopamine pathway.
Yes, which is a full chapter in the book. But what is your trigger food?
Pani puri.
Oh,
Bonding on that.
yeah.
Okay, I have one question. See, these days, I think as you allude to all the Instagram reels or shorts, we see the reading habits going really down. I'm not talking about this audience. What can we do as a strategy, as a parent, as a teacher? How do we improve?
You're right. And it is something-
Especially a printed book.
No, I agree. And I'm okay with ebooks also because it's still reading. But reading habits, it's one of those things like the gym, once you do it, you feel good. But to make you do it, you feel resistance. Nahi karna hai, laziness. It's just much easier to watch a reel. But it's mind garbage. Like nobody remembers reels. We remember Two States book from 15 years ago, but we don't remember any reel you saw 15 minutes ago. Because your brain is, it's not important. It's stupid content. It's just lulls your brain, and it's like it's an addictive kind of process. And I think it is through awareness when you tell parents and when you tell people themselves that, listen, it's not a substitute. Reading is reading. Nothing will build your focus and concentration like reading. Nothing will trigger your imagination like reading. Everything else is prepared in the video content. We prepare the movies. Alia Bhatt is walking. So you don't have to imagine Ananya. How do you have to imagine in Two States reading the book? So it is not allowing your brain to develop those creativity pathways, focus pathways, concentrate. They only say well-read person. They never say well TV watched person or like well-reeled person. Now this has to be brought to people's attention. I'm trying to do my bit by writing books which are easy to read. And I realize that even though I make a lot of videos, I am on Instagram, we make reels, we make YouTube videos. I realize that it cannot be done. I cannot, I can give a taste, but I cannot do a proper understanding without writing a book. And this is the tool of my choice for this message. So I think parents and people have to say that reading habit has to remain. You can't just say because videos are there, I won't read. That's like saying, buses are there, so I'll never walk. So it's going to be bad for you. Yeah. So it's just awareness, because we have to self-regulate now, because nobody's coming to save us. This just too many $1 trillion companies trying to make you watch reels. It's literally the case. So you have to do it yourself. Yeah.
And a lot of it,
Thank
like you said, is mindless browsing. You're just mindlessly browsing for hours.
It's the same addictive properties of,
Anybody else?
here,
Yes.
there, and then here. I'll come to you.
Hi, sir. My name is Bharat Shanai. So I'm a market research professional and also an author.
Okay.
And to be honest, like you were one of the few
Trigger
authors.
food.
Sorry?
Trigger food. Don't forget.
Oh, yeah. Trigger food is samosas.
Okay.
Yeah. And you were one of the few authors which actually inspired me to write, because your writing is so simple. Once I start, as he was mentioning, once you start within a day, it's over. So I started reading your 5.7, and my question is that do you in that book you start from a student life and then you transition to a working professional? Do you intend sometime to write something like you start from a working professional transitioning to a retirement or something like that?
It's
like a sequel
planning kind of book.
Sorry, like a sequel kind of thing.
Sequel of what?
5.1.
Maybe, but it has to excite me. I mean, it can be something different on that, like a more mature characters kind of story, but it doesn't have to be a sequel. It doesn't creatively excite me to do sequels. It's a franchise. Normally, always when sequels are done, they are done because it's selling and it will sell. If somehow it's like coming from here, it's good. But it will be craft. It will not be art. And I don't want to do craft anymore, even though it makes money. Because,
No, I think that book inspired a lot of readers as well as a lot of students.
some stories have to be left when people want a little more. It has to be like that in life. The best parties are when people felt थोड़ी और चलती, ये नहीं कि अच्छा अब घर जाते हैं यार, हाँ, घर जाओ चलो बस, अरे नहीं अभी नहीं जाना, नहीं जाओ, so that they will remember. हाँ.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The next question.
Vinod in the front.
Yeah, hi. So I'm Shubham Shivare and I work in IT. So I read the first book that I read, yours was The Girl in the Room 105. And that was pretty interesting. I just finished it in 2 days. So here you mentioned that here are some of your personal information that even your family doesn't know, right? So how hard it was you to pen down your thoughts into this book?
It was just what needed to happen. And some of this, if you are doing this right, any creative process, not just writing, singing, painting, whatever, it's coming from your subconscious brain. There is a conscious brain, this that sir will know better, prefrontal cortex, and there is that other, you can say it's like an iceberg, like we know certain things. There's a very big brain which exists, which we don't have conscious control over. Sometimes, but it's there. Like you have old memories that suddenly come back. You sometimes get flashes of it that come to the surface. But there's a whole hard drive inside. So if you're doing this right, it's coming from there. So that's where it comes from. So I don't have full control over it. That's the scary part, but that's also the beautiful part. I don't have a script. I don't know. It's coming from a box, from the cloud server. And I don't have access. I don't control it like I can control some of the other things in my life. So jo aata hai, wo aata hai abhi.
Just came.
And luckily, it has worked. What comes, people like. But that's the only way to do it properly. And that's the only thing that has been most successful. I can, because it's 20 years of practice, I can mimic it. But then it's like ChatGPT output.
Right.
Crap, basically. Like it's not got soul. Try ChatGPT to write a story. It'll be shit. Because it doesn't have that. ChatGPT never had a troubled childhood. So it doesn't have things in that box that I have. So AI will never be able to win in that aspect yet.
Right.
Maybe one day they'll make, but abhi to bahut dur hai. So that's how the process is actually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A question in the front.
Last 3 questions.
Yeah, hello. Nice to meet you in person. Myself, Varshini. Now I'm working as a software engineer. Like I have graduated 1 year back. So you said like...
Trigger food sab kyun bol rahe hain? Am I the one obsessed with food?
Yeah, my favorite food is vada pav.
Okay.
I usually go up to spicy things.
Okay.
Yeah. So I work a 9 to 5 job. And you said like everybody will say like follow passion and all, but nobody says what will be the side effect of that. Like we might lose some relationships, something, etc., etc. So I want to ask you a generic question, as you have been in the shoes. Like now I'm stuck in an IT job and I have a passion to do something else. The thing is, I'm very much interested in teaching and writing. So if I want to adopt that, there might come few talkings like you may not make more money out of it, or it may not be the best career choice. So these are the situations everybody will face. So what will be the advice or personal suggestion you can give?
So you said 2 things, teaching and
Writing.
Writing, I agree, is very unpredictable money making wise. Okay. And especially when you're a beginner, it's a huge struggle and it's not known for making money. I'm
Yeah.
being very honest. I've been lucky, but it's not a profession where people like real estate is known for making money. You said my passion is to be a builder. Good, you'll make money, but it's not. It's one of those non-money or like uncertain money. But you also said teaching, which can give you some decent money, or at least if you do it right, you can at least have a life in a campus where even if you don't have a lot of money, you have a decent lifestyle, life, job, whatever. So that way you're lucky. You have two, and one of them at least can pay the bills. Will software pay more? Yes.
Obviously.
Until AI comes next year and nobody has a job anymore. But yes, so but it's you have to decide for yourself. How important is money to you? You don't look like a person who will, like, you. The fact that you ask this question
Yeah.
means it's there in your head.
Yes, yes.
It's bothering you within 1 year of doing this job.
Yes, yes.
I got frustrated after 11 years. in Bangalore. 1 year. So clearly, it's not going to go away.
Yes.
It's only going to get worse.
Yes.
So unless you start teaching everybody in office, you have to do something about it. So go for teaching.
Yeah.
So at least you are lower income, but not zero income. And
Yes,
then
yes.
from there, you can revisit the writing.
Yeah.
But there is a path for you, I see.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
2 more questions. I think we have 2 last
Good evening,
questions.
sir. My name is Murli. Currently, I am doing IT job. Before that, I have did some projects at ISRO, NRSC. My question is that my favorite food is jalebi. Homemade, and my mother made jalebi.
Homemade jalebi?
Yes, my mother cooks very well.
I've never seen jalebi is hard to make at home.
Yes, my mother cooks very well. And my question is that as everyone started their book career with studying, booking habit with your books. And my first book was The Girl in Room 105. I stuck with Zara alone. And whenever I go out, I like to see the beautiful girls, but not Zara alone. I wanted to see who is that girl who
You have
it
a
smells like
question?
yes sir, yes a question. And who is the inspiration for you to write a character like Zara alone? And as about these 11 rules for life, what makes the difference between other authors, as you mentioned, like Atomic Habits? Someone like me, I don't doesn't like motivation books, something like that. But as I left between Atomic Habits, not reading completely. But as you are the writer, I wanted to read this book.
Thank you.
What
Thank
question?
you. I have read Atomic Habits, and it's a very good book, I must say. And there's a reason why it's a worldwide bestseller. But this is much simpler to read, firstly. This is far more Indian. This is a lot more personal. And it's more comprehensive. Atomic Habits talks about habits. It's about how micro habits can change your life. This talks about everything, which is right from your brain, where everything happens, to your life, to even investing money. It is life, everything, and it's more story style. Like I said, there's a Zomato delivery, so it makes it easier to read. But that's also a good book. You don't have to compare. You can read both. Why not read both? And it's good that you like to see beautiful girls. And the character of Zara Lone in that book, for men, I don't know if girls know this, but when men see a beautiful girl, they think she's flawless.
Okay.
In terms of not just beauty, but anything. She's perfect. She's an angel. Dude, she's not an angel. Ask her dad. Okay. So this book, Girl in Room 105, Zara Lone, Keshav is obsessed with her, and he's had a very bad breakup, and she's beautiful, and then she dies, right? And that's the story of who killed her and whatever. And as I wanted to write a murder mystery where it was not just about who killed her, but it has to have more depth than that. And he realizes that his ex-girlfriend, she wasn't a perfect person. And it's an unloved story. It's normally stories go how he starts from zero to start loving her, and it's about how he manages to unlove her. And I thought that'll make it interesting. And sometimes beauty makes us overlook other flaws in a person. And that just was a fascinating observation for me about men, especially. I don't know if it happens to women, but I think for men, definitely, they think कि मतलब she's the god. Haven't you seen on Instagram when like hot girls post pictures?
Not really. I don't use Instagram.
Yeah, just stop it now. Yeah. So you see any hot girl's picture, there's like 1 million likes. Firstly, I can make the best motivational video. I can never reach as many likes as hot girl in bikini eating breakfast in the Maldives. Okay, Maldives, right? And then you see the stupid comments like these. Like, there is, I don't know, like there is men in India who are guarding our borders in Kargil, right? But there are men in India, our own Indian men, who are commenting on these girls. Heart, heart, heart. Divine angel sent from heaven. Why? Because she's hot. If she was not hot, will you say she's an angel? And they get, sweetie, marry me. And like, you know, you're so amazing, you're so beautiful. What are these guys expecting? She's going to pick up the phone and say, Manoj, your emojis, man. That fire emoji. Let's go out tonight, you know. Enough's enough. It's never going to happen. Okay? So I just wanted to just shake things up a bit in a love story. That, he, you know, he loves her and he's obsessive, but she's not perfect. And there were a lot of messed up things about her. And she was also human. It's not like I made her a villain or anything. It's just normal and a grey character. So I think that's it was nice that you still remember it, and it kind of stuck in it got stuck in your head because it's a grey character. Yeah. The moment you make it a perfect character, it's okay.
Sorry, you haven't mentioned the name still.
Of that girl?
Yes.
I can't mention that. There's no one girl that inspired her, honestly. There were a few people in life which I saw and I thought that they are so beautiful and they just must be so amazing. But then I saw how they treated people, because in this particular case, like somebody, if she was really beautiful, she didn't care dumping a guy, because by the time she dumped the guy,
Somebody else.
and she put an Instagram post of moving on in life is important and I'm wandering and not those who wander are lost. 50 guys have DM'd her. What happened, baby? You know,
I'm here for you.
I'm here for you. And she's moved on. And wo bichara, like for 6 months, he's gone case.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do backbencher
Yeah.
attention.
One last question.
Hey, good evening, sir. My name is Kashmira, and my trigger food would be chocolates.
Okay.
I have one question, but before that, I have a lot of gratitude for you. It's my childhood's dream, as I told you.
Thank you so much.
My first book I'm actually speechless right now a bit, but trying to compose. Anyway, Krish and Ananya have always motivated me a lot. And when I started working, One Indian Girl had released, and there were comments a lot that you had gone through a lot of waxing and whatever we face as women. So how did that feel like, as being a man?
Waxing?
Not just waxing, I'm talking about it.
I think you're talking about One Indian Girl, which is a story of an Indian girl, which I wrote in the Radhika, like a female first person.
Exactly.
So there's a whole waxing scene in the book where she goes waxing.
So it was.
So I was like, how can I write this scene without actually having experienced it? So I also went waxing.
Wow.
It only felt fair, method acting. It hurts a lot. First time, especially. I don't know, maybe you get used to it. God, it really hurts, man. And I was like, this is what women do it all the time, and they're kind of like, how easily you say, "Aur isne vaccine nahi karai." मैंने भी तो नहीं कराई. But like, it's an expectation, right? It's like, wow, man, there's so much pain built into being a woman. Like, so yeah, so it was fun in a way. But it wasn't a big deal, but that's got picked up in the interviews the most. Gets waxing done. Where did you get waxing done? Please, enough. Wherever pain is felt.
But on a last note, I just wanted to thank you, because talking about broken childhood, your books were the only ones who kept motivating me. And even now, as they say, she said 15 years and 20 years, can't wait for another fiction book coming out of you.
Next one. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll do the book launch right here and you can be a part of
please
it.
come to Bangalore.
We will do it here.
Hello, sir. Firstly, my trigger food is pani puri, of course. Secondly, great fan. And thirdly,
Do you get good pani puri in Bangalore?
no,
We do. We actually.
not so
I'm
much.
asking. I'm asking. No,
so
no judgment.
there are two types
ये
of-
देखो, ये आए नॉर्थ वाले.
Okay. There are two types.
सर रहने
So,
दो. Don't like.
So-
आप कहाँ से हो? यूपी से. देखा.
so there are two types of pani puri available in Bangalore. One is
The moment you say there are two types, मतलब.
one is the authentic South Indian version of pani puri with ragda, and it's hot. And the other
What is
version.
authentic South Indian pani puri. That's like saying authentic Punjabi dosa.
We do have our version. The other ones,
It has ragda in it.
yes, and it's quite hot as well.
It's like actually hot. Like temperature is hot.
Yeah, and it has a lot of. Like, it's actually nice to have with some water.
ये कहाँ जा रहा है सर?
You have to try it to know it.
आपका इतना अच्छा साउथ इंडियन खाना है, क्यों पंगे ले रहे हो? एक हिट आइटम से अपना उसमें करना है.
और उसका derivation है masal puri, which we love as Bangaloreans on a rainy day.
ठीक है. Okay, fine. Good
My,
attempt. नहीं, I mean, okay. मेरे इन-लॉज हैं साउथ इंडियन में, ज्यादा ना ही बोलूंगा सर. मारूंगा फालतू.
But we'll make you taste. And then
It's
you can
okay.
probably judge.
नहीं, मैं जा रहा हूँ कल दिल्ली. I'm sure it's there. I was just like, I'm sure now everywhere in India, it's there. Yes. Okay, your question.
my question is, what is your favorite color?
My favorite color.
Yeah.
It's a really hard one to say. I don't know, black and blue. I don't know. Men, white, black, blue, gray. यही होते हैं. I don't know. I mean, I like pink also. I do like pink. I do wear pink shirts. And yeah, I do like pink.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Same.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay. Now that you've got the mic. phone पे लिख रहा है. हाँ.
Yes. Good evening, sir.
Question.
I'm Prakash Nelgi, student of MA English, Shanbasa University, Gulbarga, sir. I came from Gulbarga.
Food.
Masala dosa, sir.
Okay, good.
I came from Gulbarga, sir. From here, it is 650 kilometer. 650 kilometer turned into.
To attend this. Wow, thank you.
650 kilometer turned into 65 kilometer in the curiosity of seeing you.
Wow.
Thank you.
From 3 to 4 days in my mobile search bar, Instagram and Google Map, all have filled with Chetan Bhagat, Sapna Book House, Koramangala 20th class.
Thank you, darling.
I was waiting for this day, sir, and finally that day came here. The condition of my English is in ICU. You all have already figured out this. No need to tell also. Sir, I'm a representative of Madhav Jha in real life, that who is struggling to speak in English, and not for the love of Riya Somani, because I don't have a girlfriend in my life. Nowadays, the world is full of half girlfriend and half boyfriend. And you have shown this in 2014, and now it is 2024, sir. Sir, we need, we readers need one more book like this. We will.
Full girlfriend or half or quarter?
Is time.
Okay. But firstly, I must say your English is not in the ICU, and your confidence is amazing. Because it's clearly not your first or second or even third language, and you came here, full audience in an English bookstore, and for what it's worth, you gave a full speech in front of the highest selling author in English. Right? So I'm not saying it to brag about myself, but to build your confidence, because you did it. So never ever apologize. जो है सो है. If an Italian spoke English like this, you would have said so hot. Do you see the accent? that Gulbarga accent. You know, that Tuscany accent hota to alag ho jata. So it is all BS. What you say matters, not the language, not the accent. And thank you for reading my books. And I'm glad that I played a role in your life. And you'll find a girlfriend also. Aa jata hai. Everything happens at the right time.
Still one. We'll be waiting for that beautiful moment. Sir, we
the
can
girlfriend?
new
Or for the next
new
book?
book. Next
New
book.
book. Okay. Yes. Both.
Half boyfriend this time.
Half boyfriend. What I'll write.
Sir, we can read only your books without a dictionary or Google.
Thank you.
For English beginners, you are the goal, you are the source of confidence, and you are like God for us.
Arey,
Sir,
please, yaar.
you are working for youth's personality development, sir. It is my happiest moment in my life. I never forget this in my
whole
life. Last one request to you, sir, that one selfie with you.
We'll take pictures later. Yeah.
We'll definitely
yes, sir.
we'll ensure that there's a
We'll do some signings and then we'll do some pictures.
Yes, I thank Sapna because Sapna has filled my desire. Thank you, Sapna. And one more question, last question. I am writing a dissertation on your book, Half Girlfriend, sir.
Wow.
And I have given the title Dream of Full Girlfriend, sir.
You better send it to me.
Sir, can you give me some suggestion to complete my dissertation?
I think this is the toughest
Half
question you've got.
Kaise? I mean, I think you can convert half to full quite easily. It's normally the guys who have commitment issues. So I think, just you have to know if she's the one, you know.
Sir.
If you feel you can have a life with her, it's a bit half is easy because it's not for life. Full is usually for life. And I think you have to first figure out what you want in life, what she wants in life, and you have to look beyond the beauty and the hotness, which a lot of guys cannot. When you are young, she's so hot, I'll want to be with her forever. That's not a good way to look at it. What does she want? What do you want? And I think there's meeting there, then I think you can have a life together. And then she's full. Double over time. Triple also. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
One last one for this ma'am. And then we end the question hour. You take a mic.
There are a couple of people watching this interview live, so if you could just use the mic, please.
Okay, so thank you for writing a non-fiction book. And like what all the others say, it was very refreshing. I'm not just in the field of literature, but non-fiction seems to be my passion. So Atomic Habits, also from an academic point or MBA or from various points, my house is flooded with non-fiction books. As you said, this is a book of the heart and not so much the brain. This could have even been a 400, 500-page book if you had to ape what you read in the past. This is clearly in the Indian context. The Zomato guy sticks throughout the story. It could be your story, my story, anyone else's story. My hope is that it does become a case study with MBA institutes, with psychologists, psychiatrists. It's worth getting that far. If the rest of it was on silver screen, this should be an academic case study in
That's a
parts.
very good idea. Chalo, we'll try to do something.
That's all that I had to say as a reader. Thank
That's
you.
a very good suggestion.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for an amazing
Thank you guys.
event.
So how